Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
An official of Suarasug Media Corporation of the Philippines, also known as Sunshine Media Network or SMNI, denies it is owned by religious group leader Apollo Quiboloy.
No?
I'm sorry.
SMNI is not owned by Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy.
Does he hold any position there?
No? He's not part of the corporate officers.
No, he doesn't have any position. Like he can be like a.
He's just a black timer, Mr. Chair.
He's a black timer.
He's a black timer of SMNI. We consider him as an honorary chairman.
Congressman insisted during the probe of the House Committee on Legislative Franchises that SMNI should be held liable for claims that the Office of Speaker Martin Romualdez has 1.8 billion pesos in travel funds. House officials clarified that the actual travel budget is much smaller.
These are the staff members of the Speaker who accompanies him to in all his foreign trips. The total expenses of the Office of the Speaker from January to October this year, 2023, is 4,347,712 pesos and 58 centavos. The total for all, Office of the Speaker and the House Secretariat and the members of Congress who go on official trip, 39,605,123 pesos and 61 centavos.
Lawmakers point to Section 4 of Republic Act 11422 or the Suarasug franchise that the company is mandated not to air falsehoods.
To the SMNI, why should you not be held liable when it is very clear that you have violated Section 4 of your franchise? Ano ang rason na may bibigyan nyo sa amin na hindi kayo dapat patulan o hatulan ng violation against your franchise?
But SMNI maintained it bears no responsibility for the words of their anchors.
There's a statement by an anchor of SMNI. And there is a disclaimer in every program of SMNI that any statement made by the anchor, guest, is not the official stand of SMNI.
I just wanted to point out that we cannot dictate on our anchors what questions to ask, how to ask it, when to ask it.
This reasoning, however, did nothing to assuage lawmakers.
Pag yan ho lagi ang ginamit natin, ano po ang saysay ng Section 4?
Yes.
Which is what a privilege granted by Congress. And this is a very clear section.
The SMNI anchor maintained he's not out to destroy the House, calling the House Speaker's travel budget a public interest issue.
Without any intent of malice or imputing any sign of disrespect to the Speaker of the House, because it is we presume it is part of our editorial authority and policy as well to open questions pertaining to public interest issues.
Selly says he has two sources relating to his statements, but when grilled by lawmakers, the SMNI anchor eventually conceded he made a mistake.
Since nagkamali kayo, Are you willing to recant your statements and apologize to Congress?
Wala pong problema sa akin personally yon. Because trabaho po namin na kilalanin ang pagkakamali kung may pagkakamali. Pero trabaho din po namin ang magtanong.
Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, who also appears on shows in SMNI, had this message to media.
Muli sa ating mga kasamahan sa media, meron na naman pong banta sa karapatan ng malayang pamamahayag sa pamamagitan ng pananakot na baka po ma-revoke ang prangkisa ng SMNI.
Before this, lawmakers already flagged SMNI for questionable content in the programs.
The Philippine government plans to send a high-level delegation to Iran to assist in efforts to win the freedom of Filipino seafarers abducted by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea. President Marcos Jr. has decided to skip the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Dubai to focus on important developments in the hostage situation involving the seafarers. The president said he entrusted Environment Secretary Antonia Yulo Loizaga to lead the Philippine delegation in the COP28 on his behalf.
Ang masasabi ko lang at this point in time, sana maunawaan po natin, importante talaga po itong mga seafarers na ito, ang kanilang kalagayan. So it's a very sensitive issue as of now.
Houthi rebels raided India-bound car carrier Galaxy Leader as it was traversing the Red Sea after leaving Turkey on November 19. The Houthis even released a video on November 21 showing how a helicopter delivered armed men onto the deck of the ship and easily seized control over the entire crew, with the vessel later on flying Houthi and Palestinian flags. Another video was released November 22 showing a Houthi Navy commander assuring the crew that they will not be harmed.
Don't worry about everything. You can consider the Yemeni country as your country.
The Houthis is an armed group that controls majority of northern Yemen. Aside from launching long-range missiles towards Israel, it has vowed to target Israeli-linked owned or operated vessels crossing the Red Sea for as long as Israel continues to wage war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. In an interview over a Russian news channel, the group's spokesperson insisted that the seizure of Galaxy Leader puts military and economic pressure on Israel since Yemeni international waters is an important sea route. The group also showed no surprise over allegations they are acting upon instructions from Iran, but pointed out that Israel's occupation of Palestinian land is the cause of their actions. This incident has prompted the Department of Migrant Workers to recommend declaring parts of the Red Sea as high-risk zones for Filipino seafarers. At least one lawmaker, Kabayan Party List Representative Ron Salo, who is also chairman of the House Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs, believes this will result in increased compensation for Filipino sailors manning ships sailing the area. The Foreign Affairs Department, meanwhile, gave the assurance that the Filipinos are in good condition and that efforts are ongoing for them to be released as soon as possible. Prior to this, a DFA official also said that an extension of the truce in Gaza will help greatly in pacifying the Houthis.
Wala silang sinasaktan pero they're not talking direct to governments. They're talking through kung ano ng mga Red Cross, iba-ibang intermediaries. So that's why we have to praise for the truce to continue, because that will certainly animate the Houthis to eventually release the hostages.
The truce in Gaza, which started November 24, has been extended anew by another day. So far, the truce has allowed the release of 97 hostages from Gaza, which includes 2 Filipinos and 210 Palestinian detainees in Israel as part of an exchange deal between Israel and Hamas. But the United Nations continues to push for the release of all hostages and sustained ceasefire for the restoration of peace in the Middle East.
Unfair. This is how elections technology provider Smartmatic described its disqualification. The Commission on Elections, in a resolution released Wednesday, said the company will no longer be allowed to participate in any of its procurement processes. In a statement on Thursday, Smartmatic said the grounds used to disqualify the company were not even part of the complaint of the group of former Department of Information and Communications Technology Acting Secretary Eliseo Rio Jr. that the NBank tackled. Rio and his group alleged that there were irregularities in the 2022 elections and filed a petition to possibly disqualify Smartmatic from the conduct of the 2025 automated election system. But COMELEC, in its resolution, debunked the allegations of Rio's camp. Instead, it argued that the supposed involvement of Smartmatic in the case of the United States government against former COMELEC chair Juan Andres Bautista had merit to disqualify the company. Bautista supposedly received bribes in exchange for awarding a contract for election machines to Smartmatic Corporation in the 2016 elections. But Smartmatic noted that they were not given a chance to defend themselves and that they have not been formally charged in any court. They assert the basis for their disqualification is not only false, but non-existent. But in a press conference on Thursday, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia said Bautista's case was mentioned in one of the documents filed before the poll body, but the company did not counter it.
Naandyan yung issue na yon, bakit hindi nila mismo kinounter? Part yun ng kabuuan ng disqualification. Bakit hindi nila kinounter? It was a very difficult decision, but nonetheless, it was the right decision. And we will stand firm on what the COMELEC and bank had decided.
On Smartmatic's argument that it has not been indicted yet, Garcia insisted that they can exercise their administrative power and decide even without a case.
Ang ibig sabihin, kapag administrative function, we can act based on something which we are fully aware of. Not necessarily because it is contained in any petition or whatever.
According to Garcia, they are also investigating the case of Bautista through a task force he created and will come out with a decision by the end of December. COMELEC emphasized that preserving the integrity of the elections is of utmost importance.
There are several issues pertaining to the integrity and credibility of this company. And therefore, kung pababayaan po namin yan, mas maki-question po kasi yung integrity ng buong proseso.
The election body could not elaborate on their decision to avoid parties from using their statements against them. In another statement, Smartmatic said it was never informed about the U.S. case that would form part of the allegations against it. It described COMELEC's decision as arbitrary and marked with grave abuse of authority.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting, exciting, and believe it or not, a very young Filipino-American filmmaker. And I think maybe some of you know him already among here in my audience, Chicago audience. He is an award-winning filmmaker. And his name is PJ Raval. Have you heard about him? Okay, PJ, I'm really honored to welcome you here in our show, the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, and to say hi to your Chicago audience.
Magandang araw. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I invited PJ for the show because he had just made a new documentary entitled "Who We Become." And this film sounds so exciting. Let's hear from PJ about this film. Okay, PJ, first thing, please tell our viewing audience about the film, Who We Become. What is it?
Yeah, Who We Become is a feature documentary following the lives of 3 young Filipino-American women, all based in Texas. And the film takes place during the pandemic and really is a coming-of-age documentary where we see each of these 3 protagonists kind of coming into their own. And the film premieres this Friday, December 1st on Netflix. So I hope everyone will tune in and check it out.
This coming Friday. Netflix, right?
Opo.
It is exclusive streaming from Netflix. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Why did you make this film? Or why? And it involves or focuses on Filipino families. It seems to be. Why? About the pandemic.
Yes, I mean, in general, as a filmmaker, I'm very interested in centering stories from the Filipino-American or Filipino diasporic community. And with this film in particular, I got very interested in this younger generation that I see with a very specific point of view and how perhaps their experience and point of view might be very different from some of their family members, some of their parents' generation. But I see them doing amazing work in terms of expressing the way that they feel and think about the world and figuring out a way to connect to their families and kind of bridge that generational and maybe even cultural divide. So for me, it was an opportunity to really highlight this amazing, active younger generation.
How long have you been doing films? Have you started doing it here in the U.S. or in the Philippines?
So I was born and raised in the United States. My parents both are Ilocano and come from Ilocos, but I was born here, raised here, And I've been making films now for over 15 years, maybe, verging on maybe 2 decades.
And so far, how many films have you created?
This is my 4th feature documentary. I'm in the process of making a couple more. I've made also a couple short documentaries and scripted and narrative films as well. And I also have a long history of being a cinematographer. So I've worked in the industry for many years.
How long is the film?
The film is feature length. It's about 74 minutes. And it will be releasing not only here in the United States, but it will be releasing also in the UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So I hope everyone checks it out.
You are featuring in your film 3 Filipino women that are main central characters. And how did you find them in Texas?
Well, I'm based here in Austin, Texas, so it was important for me to think about a story coming from my own community or my surrounding community. And 2 of the 3 protagonists, the first one being Lauren, and the second one being Monica, both of them I knew just as local community members. And through the producer, Cecilia Mejia, who's based in New York, I met Jenna Maravilla, who is our 3rd protagonist, who's based in Houston.
Was the whole story based in Austin, Texas?
No, it takes place throughout Texas. So Monica, for instance, her family comes from the border area of Texas. Lauren's family comes from further north in New Bedford, and then Jenna is actually based in Houston, and her family lives also in Pearland, which is kind of further east from Central Texas.
Terrific. Okay, and then maybe these girls will be discovered for Hollywood. Okay.
Well, I have to say, Monica, who is our 2nd protagonist, if anyone is on TikTok, she is definitely blowing up on TikTok. She's got a very good TikTok following. So, but yes, I'm happy to give each of them additional platforms for them to, meet all of you.
Okay, as a filmmaker, of course, you have shown this movie to some film festivals. Have you done that?
I have, and in fact, I screened the film at Cinemalaya, which is the largest independent film festival in the Philippines. So I screened the film there in August. I've also screened it in Los Angeles at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival. We screened it in San Francisco at CamFest, which is run by the Center for Asian American Media, and so forth. And of course, we've screened it here in Texas as well.
What are the reactions so far?
Well, the reactions from audiences here in the United States has been really amazing. A lot of audience members, including non-Filipinos, I think are really affected by the film, because I think a lot of the stories that we see unfolding in the film are very relatable and universal, right? This idea of having a little bit of a different perspective, whether that be from a generational difference, a cultural difference, maybe even just a difference in political opinion, that certainly occurs within family, within community, within friendships. And I think a lot of people are taking away from it this idea that it is possible to recognize each other's differences. And in the process of doing that, that really strengthens the relationship between people. I think for me, one of the interesting things was screening it in the Philippines, because the film starts off with a definition of the word kapwa, which for me, I wasn't as familiar with that word until making this film, but it became an inspiration in making the film. And for those who are not familiar with that word, it's a Tagalog word or Filipino word, which in my opinion doesn't fully translate into English, but loosely maybe can be thought of as togetherness, community, maybe even I've heard some poetic descriptions of it, such as "I am because of you," which I think is a really beautiful way of thinking of it. And for me, that was a large inspiration for making the film. And so when I screened it in the Philippines, one of the things that was very interesting was I think people understood the word from the perspective of living in the Philippines, but had an opportunity to see what the experience was like for a certain generation also living in the United States, and how that concept of kapwa maybe extends to this idea of also solidarity among other marginalized groups, allyship amongst other minority groups. And I think the experience of being Filipino American also aligns with being perhaps a child of an immigrant, or aligns with maybe some of the issues that women are facing, and this idea of how all of us need to kind of be in community with one another. So for me, the idea of that word, the process of making this film, it made me really understand that word and how maybe it's taking on a unique form here in the United States, or for those who are part of the children of parents who have immigrated, and or kind of the diasporic communities.
Wow, very interesting. I really like it. I like the moral story that you're trying to portray in this movie. I love it. Very good. I am very interested in watching this. But where can people watch this movie?
So the film will be streaming exclusively on Netflix starting Friday, December 1st. And if people want to, they can even look up the film now and click a Remind Me button. So when it is released on Friday, you'll get a notification. But it'll be streaming on Netflix, and that will be in the United States, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, and Australia.
Now, how about in the Philippines?
Not yet, but we're working on it, and hopefully it will be there soon.
Wow, very good. I'm so glad that I interviewed you on our Cprtv show today, PJ. Wow, award-winning PJ Raval, a great filmmaker, and he will really be going places. I can see that, and I can feel it. And I'm so happy that I met you today, PJ. And
thank you so much, and salamat po.
Po. Itong ating running out of time na raw tayo. This is a very
time is so precious.
Interview, and I was not even aware. I thought I was going to be interviewing you today just for 10 minutes. But you are a very interesting person and a filmmaker. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagdating
salamat po.
And well, I wish you good luck and congratulations. So all the things that you've been doing, just keep us updated if there is anything we can do for you. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, PJ.
Bye. Thank you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in this court.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
Eh.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and like keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be like someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very exciting personality, a very familiar face on our show. Very glamorous, very beautiful. Oh my goodness. Help me welcome Miss Sarah Lee Turner, who used to be on the show for how many years? Many, many years. And until she retired, or we're going to hear from her what happened to her. And help me welcome Sarah. Sarah is looking so fresh and beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Tita, for this wonderful interaction again. Alam ko marami na naman tayong chika after a long, long absence.
Right. But Sarah has not stopped writing for Times as a Times columnist, and but for the TV, she because of the move to a warm place. She left Chicago. She left Chicago and she's living there. For the last how many years?
Almost 2 years now.
Oh, almost 2 years.
It's going on the second year, so we're there and we're happy of the move and no regrets.
Okay, I invited Sarah today for this interview because she just finished a big project and a project that she will talk to us. Uh, and believe it or
Huge undertaking.
Sarah, please hold the book that you just finished writing.
Yes, so proud of this endeavor. It was a challenge because, you know, we have busy lives this time, but to come up with a book of 200 recipes, that's a lot to deal with. So it's not just like 10 recipes in the book or 50. This is more than 200 recipes for our viewers and readers to enjoy.
All right, very good. Sarah, 200 recipes. Oh my
Yeah, so let me ask you, let me ask the first question if you don't mind. What do you think about the title, Tita?
Huh?
What do you think about the title that I that I picked?
I love it. You know, and but you know, I'm not a cook, but I don't know if when I'm going to try any of your recipes.
Oh, just you have to let me know. Those are easy ones. Remember those times when I was doing it on TV and there is no like second chance or re-edits or retakes? Yeah, it was just one take, and you have to make sure that you know the recipe and you know the ingredients, the procedures. It's only one take, and Tito Joe was there.
I know, and it's a beautiful book, and the title is Sarah Lee Turner and her name on the top. The Vietnam's Delicious Treasures.
Yeah,
Sarap, lasang Pinoy.
Yes.
And of course, it was. Can you please say something about the foreword, Sarah?
Yeah, the foreword was specially picked. It was not from any chefs at all that I know or met, but this one comes from the one who tasted my goodies and have the first-hand knowledge of how fabulous my or easy and good tasting my food offerings. Miss Veronica Layton to do the foreword. And would you believe she completed the whole page for the foreword? Nobody can do that except Miss Veronica Layton.
Sarah, sure. And show some of the many pictures that you featured.
Oh, yeah. I love her because this time we were able to incorporate pictures of us having fun with the family of Via Times and Cprtv. Oh, the ladies are here. The gentlemen are here. The happy times. So it will be here. It will be treasured for the rest of our lives. There's food and there's smiles. There's get together. Oh my God, these are good pictures.
Love it.
Thank you for helping me pick all the right pictures.
Wow.
Yeah, we have everything here. Pictures, recipes.
With the recipes and okay, with the 200 recipes that you published there, how were you able to accumulate those recipes?
It was a challenge. Of course, these are all, the recipes are all coming from our Via Times publications and recipes that appeared during my stint with Cprtv, Chicago Philippine Reports TV. And we all enjoyed and we ate and we tried and we tested, we tasted. And with this book now, I included the very familiar where I have time to you know do it in the kitchen, like marinating, like putting it in the freezer for a while before cooking, because there's time. It's not anymore on TV. So you have your pancit bihon, arroz caldo, and stuff like that, which are just my favorite recipes.
Are they all Filipino recipes?
No, it is for anyone. So you can hand this over to the American friends, Spanish friends, white, black, brown, Asian. Yeah, so it all comes from appetizers to desserts, and even kakanin, and there's also Pinoy ulam. So everything's in here in this wonderful book.
Eclectic.
Yes, and that's why it's called Delicious Treasures, because anybody can have this as their guide in the. What would you do with 200 recipes? That would be almost 365 days a year. There's one for each day.
Oh God, goodness gracious, Sarah. All right, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, I love recipes, so I've still been collecting recipes. But what I was having problem is finding where I put the recipes. And with those 200 that appeared on TV or in print, there is no way that I would be like a really good organizer of recipes or stuff, even though with the advent of computer and storage equipments, there is no way that you would be able to find those recipes. Where did I hide this? Where did I put this? Oh, I forgot the recipes already. I think I lost it. Now I have it all in here in this book and will never be lost again. So it will be a treasure.
It is really a treasure. And with such a multi-talented author like you, my God, where else could you find a book like that? And it's just so exciting as you know.
Yeah, all made for Via Times and Cprtv family. Oh my goodness! And how did you find help for the how many? I think there was 35 pounds per box.
I know. We're having a Christmas party on this December 22nd. We're giving. I'm not telling anybody, but I'm
Yeah.
yes, with copy of each copy as gift, Christmas gift of your book. I mean, your Sarah's treasures. That's forwarded by
Yeah, forward by Miss Layton.
The Via Times delicious. What do you treasures?
Treasures. I love the title too. I mean, there were so many titles that I have I mean, I tried to put it in as part of the list of titles, but I find this very interesting. Delicious Treasures. It's going to be a treasure.
I love the title. And wow, of course, Sarah, congratulations.
Thank you.
For finishing such a big project.
Yes, big project. And I'm glad we will be able to enjoy this food now for the rest of our lives. It's not going to disappear. It will be here forever.
Yeah. Can you please tell us how long did it take you to finish your project?
Well, I've amassed some of the Via Times prints, and now to put it back in the computer, you have to retype. And then after that, you have to follow the format of the publisher. So that's like 3 times that I have to type, or 2 times I have to do the recipes. And to consider doing 200 recipes in a book, that was a lot, but I said, well, I have to do this now or never. And I made it before the holidays.
You now or never, huh?
Yeah, it's now or never, because then I have time to do other projects. As they say, while living, you create memories, and this is part of my memories.
Wow, that project is a big legacy from Sarah Lee Turner.
Yes, and for all the family of Via Times and Cprtv. Yes, it will be forever Via Times with the stump. Yay! And thank you for doing the forward, Tita. It was really lovely, very thought of, and
you love it.
I couldn't have picked the better person to do the forward.
Thank you so much. All right, but you know, when Sarah already with the printer. All right, okay, I finished it right away.
Yes.
Can you please tell our viewing audience where else can they find copies of your book? If they look somewhere, where can they find it?
No, that would just be all in Via Times. At the end of the book, I put there actually where they can order the scoop books, and that would be through the Via Times publications. And all they have to do is just pay $15 for the book plus $5 shipping, and we can send this to them.
All right, very good. $5 shipping.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so nice.
I know. Yes, this would be a fabulous gift for the holidays.
Yes.
I remember my one project. There was one reader of Via Times that begged to have 10 books.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They had to be sent to her, and I hope she's listening, and we can send this wonderful book again to her.
Sarah, so that's how you're marketing your book, right?
No, through your Via Times too.
Or the Via Times book. Okay,
Yes.
that's how we're gonna be doing that. Okay, if some people would demand, if we run out of the copies that I have right now, and would demand more copies, would the printer be able to print on demand? Your
Surprise! I have still 100 books in my hand.
I see. Okay, I got it. Wow. Okay, Sarah, thank you for gracing our show today and telling us about your wonderful book project that you just finished. And congratulations! That's a lot of work. And would you like to come to our Christmas party on December 22nd and talk about your book?
Ooh, that would be a wonderful surprise for them. Let me know more details. I will be waiting for those details, and we'll plan on it. Why not?
To our guest, the author of this wonderful book, the author of which I know they will be so happy to see you. And
okay. Well, I'll consider the wish.
All right.
Christmas time is almost here, and we'll plan on it. Why not?
Your appearance will be very much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So let me know right away.
Okay. I sure will.
Again, for gracing our show today. And well, enjoy the rest of your day. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po. Good afternoon, this is Bridget Carino-Cueto bringing you this week's local news from our community. The Illinois Department of Agriculture will bring the Illinois Product Holiday Market back to downtown Springfield this year. The market takes place December 1st through 3rd on the Y Block, north of the Governor's Mansion. The holiday market will feature Illinois products for everyone on your shopping list this season, including local eggnog, milk and cheeses, sauces and seasonings, fresh and frozen meats, baked goods, candles, and woodworking. There will also be food vendors on hand so attendees can purchase a snack or enjoy a meal while experiencing this holiday spectacular. For those 21 and older, Illinois Wine will be hosting a wine tasting experience featuring 7 wineries from across the state. The Illinois Product Program gives Illinois entrepreneurs a platform to grow and expand their business, said IDOA Director Jerry Costello. This holiday market is a great opportunity for shoppers to support local agribusinesses that contribute to our state's #1 industry. Increased crime in Chicago being committed by Venezuelans, primarily in the U.S. illegally, is the result of an expanded parole policy implemented by the Biden administration, attorneys general from 20 states warned when they sued to try and stop the policy. A coalition of attorneys general led by Texas is seeking to end a parole program they argue is illegally being used to usher in hundreds of thousands of people illegally into the country by passing laws established by Congress. Since January, the number of Venezuelans arrested by Chicago police has increased 2,538% from last year, according to Chicago Police Department data obtained through a public information request by CWB Chicago News. Sports tourism has surged in popularity and is expected to reach a valuation of $53.5 billion by the end of 2023. There has been a notable 3.25% increase in NFL attendance in 2022 to 69,442 per game, which is the second highest figure in the last 19 years. With this in mind, VITER sought to uncover the best U.S. states for sports fans to visit as part of their All-American Index. To accomplish this, the experts created a points-based index system that analyzed various metrics. These included the number of sports venues per state, average stadium capacities, number of male professional sports teams and college football teams, as well as the average attendance to ultimately uncover the best U.S. states for sports tourism. VITER can reveal that Florida is the top U.S. state for sports enthusiasts to visit, with an overall sports tourism score of 9.24 out of 10, with a total average of 341,978 fans per game across all sports. It secures the second highest spot nationally and is more than double that of North Carolina at 143,445, despite having a similar population. Researchers at the University of Texas at El Paso discovered that a product derived from used coffee grounds protects brain cells from damage caused by neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. They found that carbon quantum dots on caffeic acid help neutralize harmful molecules called free radicals and prevent them from causing brain cell damage, as well as halting the buildup of amyloid plaques. Caffeic acid-based carbon quantum dots have the potential to be transformative in the treatment of neurodegenerative diseases, said Jyotish Kumar, a doctoral student in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry who led the team of researchers in a news release. The scientists said that CACQDs were effective if the neurodegenerative condition is triggered by factors such as obesity, age, and exposure to pesticides and other toxic environmental chemicals. Advancing a data-driven plan to improve the asylum seeker response and provide safe shelter through the winter, Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Department of Human Services, IDHS, announced construction will launch this week on 2 new shelter sites. The sites, a base camp in Brighton Park and brick-and-mortar site in Little Village, will house up to 2,200 asylum seekers in total. The locations of the shelters were identified by the City of Chicago, and both shelters will operate as part of the existing City of Chicago shelter system. Work to construct and operate the shelters is being funded by the state through Governor Pritzker's recently announced $160 million investment to improve the asylum seeker pipeline, as well as the $478 million in state funding that has been provided or committed to the asylum seeker response over state fiscal year 2023 and 2024. In partnership with the City of Chicago, available beds will be prioritized for families and individuals with disabilities who are currently sleeping outdoors at police stations and at O'Hare Airport. While construction at both locations will begin this week, asylum seekers will not move into the Brighton Park location until all environmental concerns have been addressed. Pending this work, the shelter sites are expected to open and begin housing asylum seekers as early as mid-December. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Yes.